Welcome back. It's records galore for SoFi Technologies. The fintech reporting top and bottom line beats for its third quarter earnings report, including record adjusted net revenue of nearly $950 million. SoFi also reporting record membership growth and product growth. Shares of SoFi are up 40% over the last 3 months, hitting an all-time high. Joining me now is SoFi CEO Anthony Noto. Anthony, thanks so much for being here and congratulations on the great quarter. It really is an accomplishment. Let's talk about these records. SoFi is adding 905,000 new members last quarter, bringing the total to 12.6 million. This is phenomenal growth. You also say that you have record new products, bringing the total to 18.6 million. How is SoFi's one-stop shop strategy driving this growth?
Well, thank you for having me, Jerry, and thank you for your compliments on the quarter. It was an extraordinary quarter. What's driving the growth is that we have built a portfolio of products that meet our members' needs when they need them. So we're not so much focused on getting them to use a product in particular first, but what is happening is the most broadly appealing product, our SoFi Money product, as well as our SoFi Relay product, are in fact bringing in bigger and bigger audiences at the top of our funnel. And then those members are then going on to use other products. And so you see our product growth slightly faster than our member growth because members are using more than one product. Our goal is to be with our members for all the major financial decisions they make in their lives and all the days in between. Because what we're trying to do is to help them spend less than they make so they can invest the rest to get to their lifetime goals, to get to their ambitions. And having every product along that spectrum is really critical. And so when we do have them use one of our products, the product's reliable, it's trustworthy, and then they consider us for the second product. And that's coming to fruition over the last 12 months.
You know, one of those products obviously would be loans, right? SoFi's total loan origination hitting a record high of $9.9 billion. That's up 57% year over year. Personal loan originations also hitting an all-time high, $7.5 billion. What does this tell you about consumer sentiment? We're all scouring the information and earnings reports of retailers, lenders to find out, is there any economic uncertainty out there? How are consumers dealing with any issues? You see any problems?
From our perspective, the consumer is quite strong. Now, we're targeting a prime and super prime customer that has above average income, but the trends that we're seeing are very positive. The $9.9 billion of personal loans was aided by a product that we've had for the last 5 years that has been very differentiated in lowering the cost of credit card debt from over 20% down to a term loan debt in the 12% range. We're now actually producing that product for other third parties. And so that's allowing us to increase our total capacity to fulfill the needs of those looking to refinance their credit card debt. So that's one of the factors. The second factor is that the current members that we've had loans with are performing quite well. Our net charge-offs have declined on a sequential basis, so they've improved quarter over quarter. So we're not seeing any signs of credit deterioration. People are making payments on time and in fact doing better now than they were in the prior quarter, which was also very strong. And the demand for new financing is also very strong.
Well, that's good news. Fox Business spoke with Bank of America CEO Brian Moynihan this morning on his assessment of the broader economy. Watch.
When you think about the American economy, obviously the U.S. consumer is one of the most powerful engines on earth. The size of what it does is as big as almost every other economy. We saw about 5.5% of spending, them putting money into the economy out of their accounts in every way they do it. Credit card charges, debit card charges, checks written, cash out of the ATM. That's actually growing at a little higher rate in October here. So the consumer continues to spend, but in the aggregate, it's very strong. And that bodes well because that's a great anchor to windward. We feel good that the small business credit quality is good. They're borrowing responsibly. They're employing people. Now, the big worry is will that all hold as the shutdown and tariffs continue on? And that's the question on everybody's mind.
Anthony, you said you see a strong consumer, but I think his point is interesting. What happens with tariffs? What happens if the government shutdown continues? Could that have an impact on consumer sentiment?
I don't see it happening. I think we would have to see a very significant deterioration in employment. We'd have to see employment go from the low 4% range to above 5 to 5.5% range, or we'd have to see some type of liquidity crunch. And right now, we're not seeing that. Rates are coming down, they're not going up, so it's unlikely to see a liquidity crunch. And the third variable that could throw a wrench in the ointment of the economy and the consumer spending and the strength of the consumer would be some type of exogenous factor in terms of world politics and the situations that we're observing, obviously in Asia and in the Eastern Europe. But fundamentally, things are relatively stable across those different specific factors. And until there's a deterioration, I just don't see the consumer becoming weaker. If we do see signs of it, we'll make the appropriate changes to our credit underwriting and definitely go to a risk-off mode.
Well, from your lips to God's ear, consumers continuing strong. Back in August, the company announced it will partner with LightSpark to power blockchain-enabled international money transfers. When can we expect to see this launched? And what other innovations are you working on in crypto and blockchain?
Well, thank you for asking. We launched SoFi Pay in the last week. So today, U.S. citizens can send money through the SoFi app across a layer 2 blockchain. You can send it in dollars. It'll go to Mexico and it will be converted into pesos. We will roll out SoFi Pay throughout other regions, including more LATAM countries, as well as the European region. In addition to having SoFi Pay, we're also re-entering the buy, sell, and hold of cryptocurrencies. We had that product until the end of 2023. We had to exit the product because of our banking license. Well, the great news is it's now permissible for banks to be able to offer crypto services. And so by the end of the year, we'll be the first national bank in the United States to offer buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies. And we'll do it in a way that's very familiar to our members, as well as inviting to new members. Wow. We'll ask people to set up a SoFi Money account. Their money will sit in the FDIC insured accounts of our bank. And then when they buy cryptocurrencies, it will be instantly transferred to their crypto account and used for the trade. In addition to that, in 2026, we'll introduce SoFi USD stablecoin. That will be part of SoFi Pay, but it will also be part of a number of other services, including point-of-sale purchases.
First to market, that's impressive. Last month, SoFi launched Options Level 1. You can do covered calls, cash-secured puts to help members pursue risk-adjusted strategies for their investments. Walk us through how this works and who's eligible.
Sure. So within SoFi Invest, we're trying to differentiate our product. Our goal is to help members spend less than they make and invest the rest in a diversified dollar cost averaging way. So we offer single stocks, fractional shares. We have 4 of our own SoFi ETFs that we've created. We just introduced a 5th, which is an agentic AI ETF, so you can invest in that theme. We also have private equity, private credit, long-short hedge funds, as well as venture capital. We've done IPOs, and this year we've also done some private offerings, including SpaceX. The number one requested new product from our members is Level 1 options as a way to drive additional income against their core positions. We educate you within the app about the appropriateness of this product, the risks of it, and make it very easy for you to understand the outcomes at different prices. So we're super happy to be adding this to the mix, which is further differentiating our one-stop shop for investing.
Well, I'm not sure Moina has anything on you. Anthony Noto, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.